This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, sorry. So I was saying, let's say this ABC Chemicals Limited, they were not using SAP till now, and now they invited many different companies that we want to implement SAP. Can you tell me how will you implement it? So let's say Accenture came, Capgemini came, Atos came. They all came to this company, and they explained them how we will implement SAP. But again, this company ABC Limited, they are still not confident. So they said, okay, we will not give you complete project. You just do it the business blueprint for us. Okay, based on how you are doing the business blueprint, we will decide whether you should continue the next process or not. Okay, same way. If I talk about the carpenter, we are not going to give you the complete project. First, you tell us what you will do. We will see your design. If you like your design, then we'll go with you. Okay. So many companies, what they do is they give the business blueprinting phase to one company. Now, once the business blueprinting is done, maybe they like the business blueprint, they have not like the approach. So it was committed that the business blueprint will be created in 3 months, but this company has created in 6 months. So in that case, what will happen? Definitely, this company will search for another vendor. Now, what they will tell the another vendor, that business blueprinting is already done. It is with us. You take this business blueprint as it is configured in the system. So in that case, Chandrika, it is possible that you belong to that company who was got involved in the project when the business blueprinting was already done. So you can go to the customer side, business blueprinting is already ready with them, and you take the business blueprint and start configuring the system. Right, Chandrika? This is one example of that scenario that you are talking about.
Yeah, got it, Vikram.
Hello Vikram, this is Mohammed speaking.
Yes, Mohammed.
I heard one more thing as this document to be document, there is some enhancement or gap analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Is it part of a blueprint document?
Yes, yes, yes. See, there are a lot of things which will come in the business blueprint. As of now, I'm just giving you the overview. But whenever we are going to talk about any
Yeah.
particular functionality, then I will tell you what things need to be taken care whenever you are creating the business blueprinting for GL, whenever you are creating the business blueprinting for AP. So those things will come again and again now. I'm just giving you the high level overview as of now. What is business blueprint?
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So business blueprint, once the business blueprint is created and it is signed off, which means customer has agreed that yes, whatever you are doing is correct, you start configuring in the system. Then you start actually touching the system and setting up the system. Okay, that phase of setting up is called as realization. Realization phase is when you actually start configuring, setting up the system. Now, once the system is configured, once the system is ready, okay, what will be the next? From my side, whatever I have written in the business blueprint, I have done that. What will you do next? Let's say same thing. Even let's take example of the carpenter. So first carpenter told you I'm going to create it like this, right? You said okay, create it. So they started working on the material and they converted. Let's say this is a bed, this is a sofa, everything is ready now. So what would be next? Customer will check, right, whether whatever he has written, he has created according to that or not. Is it matching my business requirements or not? So that is called as UAT, user acceptance test, whether the user is accepting that or not. So let's say I have seen the sofa, I didn't like it, so user has not accepted. So user will suggest some changes. He will not say no, I don't want, throw it. He will say, okay, this is fine, but there is a problem here. So maybe change the color, change the whatever, yeah. So change the design. So those minor things can come in the UAT. Okay, so UAT is user acceptance testing. Okay, user will verify whether everything is working correctly or not in the system. Okay, they will actually perform transactions. They will try to create a GL account. They will try to book the vendor invoice. They will try to create a customer invoice. They want to make sure that everything is working fine. If there is any issue, they will report it to the consultant. They will resolve that issue. Finally, when all the issues are resolved, UAT will be again signed off. UAT sign off means now user is responsible. If user has told that yes, whatever you have created, I tasted and everything is working fine. Once you are told so far is nice, it is done. After 5 days, you cannot call him and say, oh, this is not what I wanted. He will say you already confirmed, right? Your UAT testing part was already done. You already confirmed. Now it is your responsibility if something is wrong, right? So UAT, once the user is saying yes, everything is working. After that, if anything goes wrong in the production system, it will come to the user, not to the consultant, because consultant has performed the setup. He has asked you to test. You have tested it. You said yes, everything is fine. Then you cannot blame consultant. Okay, so UAT is very important for the customers. They should make sure that everything is working fine. Otherwise, if anything goes wrong, it will be user who is responsible. Okay, once the UAT is completed, once the user is said yes, everything is working fine, then we will go for go live, which means they will actually start using the system. Okay, they will actually start entering the transactions in the system. Okay, so this, apart from this, there is one last one which is called as initial preparation. These are the 5 phases of. Can you tell me what is this? 5 phases of what? Who already knows SAP?
SAP roadmap.
Sorry?
Roadmap. SAP roadmap.
SAP roadmap. What is the name of this SAP roadmap? Which methodology we call it as?
This is SAP methodology.
SAP SF methodology.
SAP. Yeah.
SAP methodology. Okay, what is SAP ASAP methodology? SAP ASAP methodology stands for accelerated SAP. A stands for accelerated. What does it mean? It means, see, now let's say this ABC Limited invited TCS, Infosys, Accenture, Capgemini. Now, if they start working on this project, everyone has different approach. Okay, so maybe some, let's say TCS will directly start working on the requirements without performing this. Then your Accenture will directly start setting up the system. So what SAP has realized is, if you follow the certain way, if you follow the step-by-step procedure, then there are more chances of success and your system implementation would be done faster. That is the reason they said accelerated. So what they said is, they said we have the proven methodology. Okay, we have seen that customers who follow these 5 steps, rather than directly going to realization or directly going to the business blueprint, if a customer goes for the initial preparation, then they go for business blueprint, then they go for realization, there are high chances that the project would be successful, right? So there are less chances where you need to again and again go back and resolve the issues. So they said they are recommending customers, whoever is implementing SAP ECC, to go for SAP SF methodology. Okay, in which initial preparation, this is all project management related. There is no involvement from the consultants here. So let's say a company, Accenture, has got this project. So what is their responsibility? Once they got the project, they will finalize who will be the project manager for this particular project. How many consultants will work? How many FI consultants? How many CO consultants? If 2 FI consultants, which 2 FI consultants? Okay, so these are all the high level planning that is done in the initial preparation phase. So project setup, you can say project setup is done the initial preparation, no functional activity. So once the project setup is completed, team is ready. Now they will ask, okay, team ready, go and start the project. So team, when they are ready, they will first initially on day one itself, let's say if you are deputed as a consultant, you go to the customer's premises and you will immediately start business blueprinting phase. You will not be involved in this project setup. This is all management related activities. Okay, so business blueprint, you will start sitting with the end users, collecting their requirements, understanding what exactly they want, right? Creating the document out of it, and then creating how you are recommending them to implement SAP system. Okay, and once it is approved, you will actually start setting up the system. You are logging into the SAP system, creating the company code and all those things. Once it is done, you will go for UAT. You will ask the user to perform the checks. If he is agreeing to that, he will go for go live.
Vikram, I have
Right?
a question.
Yes,
Uh,
Chandrika.
are you following all these five methods in our training in every topic?
See, you cannot follow all this in every topic because see, initial preparation, we are not bothered as a consultant. Okay.
Okay.
UAT is done by the user. We don't have user who will perform the UAT. And go live, we are not going to do multiple times, right? We are
Yeah.
immediately when transaction is done, we are doing the go live. So most of the time, we will be discussing about these two things. In entire training, we will understand, let's assume the business requirements are this. Then we will go into the system and based on the business requirement, we'll set up the system.
Okay. Can't we do UAT in our system?
That UAT, what we are doing as a consultant, that is not called as UAT. Within the
Yeah,
realization, there
yeah.
is also called as unit testing.
Mm-hmm.
Unit testing is the testing which consultant does before he goes to the user. Okay, because we don't have the user here, so there is no question of UAT. But what testing we are going to do as a consultant, that is a unit testing. We will definitely do that. Once the system is ready, we will go for the transactions. We will see whether we are able to post the invoice, whether we are able to post the payment, whether we are able to clear the document. If you want to reverse the document, all those processes is nothing but unit testing.
Now, my question is, we are doing implementation everything right now. I would like to know whether I'm doing right or wrong. How I will know that?
Yeah, unit testing will tell you now. If you are doing the implementation, unit testing will tell you that the business requirements were this, whether I am able to do those transactions or not.
Okay.
You are saying from your side, as a consultant, you want to verify whether I am doing the right work or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that particular thing is called as unit testing. What consultant does to verify before he hand over the system to the customer.
Okay, Vikram. Got it.
Okay, so that is called as unit testing.
Vikram, this is Mohammed speaking.
Yes. Uh,
This is SAP methodology, right?
SAP SAP methodology.
SAP methodology, which is this is a method used for the time of implementation
Yes,
project.
this is the method which we normally use at the time of implementation.
Okay. Now, my friend circles had some other methodologies
Mm-hmm.
like waterfall methodology and agile. It is also used for the implementation SAP, or that is different purpose. Those
See,
methodologies.
waterfall, agile, these are the methodologies which are used for the normal software development. Okay, they are common, they are everywhere. Agile, waterfall. Okay, so that is not coming from SAP. These are the wordings which are coming in the normal software development. So based on that software development, SAP created their own methodology. If you see it, it is almost same. So it is also like you set up this business blueprinting is nothing but a requirement. Okay, so when we say waterfall, in the waterfall methodology, we have the initial setup, we have the requirements gathering, we have the design document, we will start working, the developing the software, we will perform the UAT, and then we will go live. So it is also following in the same way, but the terminologies are different.
Okay.
Yes. So
And one more
whenever
thing,
we are going for SAP implementation, we will never say the customer we will follow waterfall methodology or we will follow agile methodology. We will always talk in the SAP terminology, right? That we will follow SAP methodology.
okay. And Vikram, one more thing.
Hmm.
After the realization stage, that is a configuration done by the consultants. So
Mhm.
in implementation, tester will involved in this stage. Testers before.
Testers, see, totally, yeah, totally depends. Many times testers are involved here, but only in those cases where there is a separate testing team. Not in all the organizations you have a separate testing team. As a consultant, you are also responsible to perform some tests. So out of 10 companies, you will find only two are using their testing team separately. Otherwise, whatever consultant, whoever is the consultant who is performing the configuration, that same consultant is responsible for the testing also.
Okay.
Okay, there are some big organizations where the consultants who are performing the setup, they are very senior consultants. Okay, and company cannot pay them for performing the testing also. So what they do is they will just do the setup, and then there are some junior resources who will be doing the testing. And if there are many different scenarios which needs to be tested, then in that case even we can use the testing tools also to perform the test. Instead of manual testing, we can use the automated testing tools. But that is a completely separate topic. Instead of like, the idea here is we need to perform the testing. So whether we are doing on our own or the separate testing team is doing, or we are using the software, that is a complete different thing that we need to understand.
Yeah. Fine. Thank you.
On this, okay. So now let's again assume we are here on the project. So as a consultant, in which phase we will start working for the new
Realization.
project? We will start with
Realization.
Blueprint.
business blueprint,
Real.
right? In the initial preparation, I told you mostly this is management related. We don't have any role to play as a consultant. Our work starts with the business blueprinting. Okay, and in the business blueprinting, our work will start with first requirements. First, you need to understand the requirement. You need to understand the processes. Then only you will be able to design, right? So now onwards, just assume that you are the consultant who is responsible for the business blueprinting. Okay, so maybe I'll write it here. So in the business blueprinting phase, you are on day one as a consultant duty. What you will do, I asked you 5 questions earlier. We will keep on adding the questions in that. Okay, so what was the question? The first question was, how many, instead of talking about the SAP terminologies, let's talk about the terminologies that customers will use. Customer doesn't know what is company code in SAP. Customer knows how many legal entities I have. Okay, so how many legal entities customers have? Right, this is the first question. Okay, along with, maybe you can write along with name and addresses, along with name and registered office. Question number 2 is, how many plants or products or both they want to have from the reporting point of view. Okay, so if a customer says, I'm not happy with ABC Limited had made this profit. I want ABC Limited Pune made this much profit. I want ABC Limited product number 1 made this much profit. So only company code level pay, if I'm getting the profit or balance sheet, customer may not be happy with that. Customer wants the profit and loss to be generated at 1 or 2 level below the legal entity. Okay, so that we need to understand at what level you want to generate your profitability reports. You want to generate at a plant level, you want to generate at a product level, or you want to generate in the mix of both, product plus plant. So that information we need to capture. Okay, then it was which financial year we are following. Okay, then which posting period should be open? Postings should be allowed in which period? Next one. There was one more that we discussed last time. Okay, at least remember this. How many legal entities customers have along with the registered office address? Okay, so this is where you will start. Okay, now in our project, in our training, we cannot first write the entire business blueprint document and then go for the configuration. If you do that, you will get bored, okay, because you need to understand AP, business understanding, then SAP. So what we need to do is one by one question, one answer, how to set up in the system. But actually in the project, it is not like that. मैंने customer को पूछा कितने company है और immediately जाके बना लिया. It is not like immediately I went and started configuring the system after asking one question to the customer. You will understand each and every requirement for months. Then you will start setting up the system. But in our case, when we say legal entities are called as company codes in SAP. There is a difference between company and company code. There are two different things. In SAP, there is something called as company. Let me show you. Okay, so I'll go to, this is SAP system. Okay, this is where you can see, this is called as SAP Easy Access. I think this also I explained in the last session, right? What is SAP Easy Access, what the consultant will do. If you go through those videos, you'll be able to understand. I'm just trying to show you, if you want to set up as a consultant, we will not touch any of this. As a consultant, we will always go to transaction SPRO. If you are an end user, you will never see this transaction. You don't have the authorizations at all. Okay, this is a setup. Whatever setups you need to do, you need to go to SPRO and IMG, SAP reference IMG. Okay, and here there is a separate folder for enterprise structure. If you click on enterprise structure, within definition, okay, there are different modules. So you want to set up the enterprise structure for financial accounting or for controlling or within logistics or sales and distribution, materials management, plant maintenance. Okay, so there are different modules, even HR. Right, so in our case, we want to set up financial accounting. I will open this. Don't worry about path and all. All these things are available in my slides, which I'm going to share. Okay, and you will go for define company code. Legal entity, whenever, whatever answer you get for the legal entities, I have this many number of legal entities. You will simply come here in the edit, copy, delete, check company code, and you will create a company code in this screen. Edit company code and new entry. Okay, here you will do new entry. You will provide 4 alpha numeric digits. Alpha numeric. So it can be all 4 alpha. Okay, alphabets. It can be all 4 numeric, or it can be combination of alpha numeric. 4 digits. This is good. This is a question which is asked in the exam also. What is the character? How many characters, or what is the what is that? What is the logic for company code? So they will give you example, 4 options: 4-digit numeric, 4-digit alpha, 4-digit alpha numeric, 6-digit alpha numeric. So you have to select 4-digit alpha numeric. Okay, so I'm not creating this as of now. I'm just showing you. Maybe I'll show you one company code which is already there. Because if I start, I need to continue for at least 1 hour. We don't have that much time today. I will just show you one of the company code which is already there. Tomorrow we will start configuring the system. Okay, so for example, if I double click on this company code, these are the company codes which are already created in this system. Now, when you go for the new system, let's say this is a test system. Anybody can come. If I give you the user ID, you can also create your own company codes. So I can see there are 670 company codes created here. Okay, this is the number, total number. There are 670 company codes created here. But if I give you the completely new system, okay, which is came from SAP and I given it to you, now you configure. So what do you think? Will it be blank, or it will still contain some company codes? Still contains some company code. Why? What are those company? Standard company codes. There are some company codes which are pre-delivered by SAP. Those are sample company codes. Okay, so simple. If I ask you to create everything from scratch, it will take more time. But if I tell you SAP has already provided a sample company code for India, you just copy it, most of the configuration will be automatically done. So you can save time if you use the model. It is called as sample company code or model company code. Okay, so instead of creating, you can copy them and create your own. So it will save a lot of time in performing the setup. So in short, whenever you go for new implementation, there are some company codes which are already pre-delivered by SAP. You can use them, you can copy it as it is, or you can start from scratch. If you want to start from scratch, that is completely up to you. So normally in the projects, again, it totally depends upon the consultant. I have a habit of creating from scratch, but I have seen consultants who copy it. Okay, so there is no harm. You can copy it also, or you can do the new entry. It is up to you. But again, if you are going for the rollout, you know what is rollout? There are three kind of projects in SAP. On the higher level, there are three kinds of projects. Number one is implementation. When you are going for implementing the system for the first time. Number two is support. Customer has already implemented SAP system. Now you are providing support. Whatever issues are coming, you are solving that. Number three is rollout. Anyone knows what is rollout?
Yes.
Homer speaking. Hello.
Yes, Mohammed.
Rollout nothing but there are many company codes of the one group of company. So initially they started implementation some company. So later some other company codes they have in different country. So they can copy from existing company code to other company code. And based on the
Okay.
changes they can do, that is the rollout. You know.
Okay, Mohammed. Yes, you are right. Chandrika, you want to add something?
No, Vikram, there is a one more project, testing is there, right? Is rollout is the testing?
No, no, no. Rollout is not testing.
Oh,
Rollout is,
enhancements will come under implementation.
yeah, enhancement can come under implementation, under support, under rollout. Enhancement is something which will continue in each and every phase of the project.
Okay.
Enhancement means adding new functionalities. So it can be done at the time of implementation also. If you are not happy with the standard functionalities, you can always ask the customer to perform the enhancements. If you are working on the support project, there also you get some enhancements. In the rollout also you can get some enhancements. And I'll talk about enhancement in detail. I know many of you don't know what is enhancement. Okay. So what Mohammed has said is correct. Let's say you implemented, when you implemented SAP system, customer has told you there are two companies, ABC India Limited, ABC US Limited. Now those company codes are already implemented 5 years back. So 5 years back to perform the implementation project, and from last 5 years you were working on the support project. Now customer has opened a new office or a new legal entity in China, ABC China, right? So if a customer is opening a new company, okay, so it is not a support. Support is only for the existing company codes. It is not a new implementation also because there are already two company codes which are created. Rollout means adding new legal entities, adding new plants. So there is called as company rollout, there is called as plant rollout. Whenever you create a new plant, it is a plant rollout. So earlier in US there was only one plant, New York. Now they created another plant in New Jersey. So that is a plant rollout. They have to perform all that setup, whatever is required for the new plant. If it is a company code rollout, we need to create a new company. So these are the three kind of projects that you will be working on SAP, either implementation or support or rollout. So if it is rollout project, then here you might be also able to see the company codes which are already created. So ABC India Limited is created, ABC US is created, and instead of creating ABC China from scratch, what you can do is you can just copy one of this and perform the remaining setup. Okay, but otherwise, whatever you are able to see here, you will not find this many number of company codes at the client. Okay, I'm not saying 100% no, but very rare. There are some customers who have more than 1,000 company codes. They have more than 1,000 legal entities. Okay, big customers, if you see Reliance, Tata, you may find there are more than 1,000 company codes in SAP system, right? So it is very rare, but yes, possible. Okay, so this is how, based on the number of legal entities, you will be setting up the company code. So whenever you are setting up a company code, when you double click on this, it will also show you the city, country, currency, and language. And also I told you address. So if you click on this button, it will show you the address. You can add the address information here. Address, PO box number, postal code, telephone number, mobile number, fax, email, all these things can be added for a company code.
SAP have different languages also.
SAP has multiple languages. If you go for the European implementations, normally they do all their transactions in their own language. So I was working in one of the company where the client was German. So they were sending us a screenshot of the error which were in German. So it is very difficult for you to understand. So what we need to ask them is, maybe if they cannot send the English translations, at least they should send us which transaction code they are executing. So we will try to do the same transaction what they were trying to do, but in language English. Then we will get the exact message that what is the error that customer is getting. Okay, I'll just show you one example. So let's say currently, whenever you log in into the SAP system, it asks you for the language. See. So if I tell the system that I want to log in, but this time with not English, I want to log in the German language. So German is DE. DE stands for German. Enter. Now you can see everything is in German. See, even if you go inside, you will not be able to understand anything. AP, AR, everything is in German. Even if you go to SPRO, see. So maybe finance is something like this. Within finance, you don't know what is AP, what is AR, what is asset accounting. So SAP supports multiple languages. By default, whenever the person is setting up the system for the first time, normally this activity is done by basis. There is a SAP basis team. They default this language. So in this system, it is defaulted as English. That is the reason if you don't enter anything, it will automatically take English by default. Here, so I was talking about the registered address. Now, how many plants and products? This I'll explain you with examples. But which financial year customer is following, and which posting period should be open? For this, what we do is our customers are assigned to the fiscal year variant. Okay, I'll explain you. Don't worry about these terminologies. But I'm just trying to show you that everything is as per the systems, as per the customer's requirement. Okay, so for example, you can see this first company code is India. Okay, country is India. So if I double click on this, this is where you tell the system which fiscal year, which financial year this company code is following. Okay, so V3 stands for April to March. Okay, we'll talk about what is for special periods and all. But as of now, just understand this is where we need to tell the system that what is our financial year. And this is where we tell the system which posting period variant is open, which posting period is allowed for the posting. So for example, this is the posting period variant. I'll go to the particular T code, which you will be very comfortable after few sessions. Okay, and here I can tell the system which period is open for the posting. So what I told the system is first period 2019, from first period of 2019 to 12th period of 2019. So all the 12 periods of 2019 are open in this company code. Okay, if anyone is trying to post in June, July, he'll be able to do it because it is allowed. But if somebody is trying to post in 2018, then system will throw error. It will tell you that postings in this posting periods are not allowed.
So
Clear?
we can give many years.
We can give whatever you want, but it is normally, see, testing purpose, you can do whatever you want. But actually speaking, nobody, I have never seen a company who is opening more than 2 or 3 periods at a time. Why will they open 2018? Or why will they open 2020? 2018 is already closed, audit is already done. It is, if you want to perform the adjustments also, but if you have done the audit, then it is not recommended to open the 18 period. Right? So in short, it totally depends. See, this is a screen. You can come here and you can open whatever you want, but it is against the audit. If you do it, let's say you already submitted audit results for 2018. After that, if you come here, you change it and then you make some postings. If that comes in the audit, then it is a big issue, right? How can you do that?
You want to open the previous period.
Previous period should not be open.
If anything is pending, we will book equivalent.
Exactly. You can book accrual. You can tell, okay, this was an entry which I forgot to book in the last month. You can clearly write in the text that this was actually belonging to the last month, but since the period is closed, I am booking in this month. So there are ways. See, system will give you all the flexibility. System is not stopping you. It will not tell you that no, auditor is not allowing this. It will allow you whatever you want, but at the end of the day, you need to think whether this is okay from the audit point of view. Okay, so this is, yes, Mohammed.
Mohammed speaking. There is in the screen there is an option, no? JAUGR on column is there, no? In the screen.
Authorization group. I'll talk about this screen in detail. This is authorization group. This means if I want to open this period, but I want to only open for a particular user, so that other users should not, let's say I already know that AP, AR, asset accounting is already done, but there are some manual adjustments which are needs to be done from the GL point of view. So what I can do is I can tell the system, okay, open the last period only for GL related authorization groups. So only users who belong to the GL team, they will be able to post the transactions.
Okay. So is this the one reason to use this option, or even at the time of auditing also we can use before
No, no,
auditing?
no, no. This is only for controlling who is allowed to perform the transaction. This is not for auditing. This is just for telling the system who is authorized to perform the transaction in this particular month.
That equal are not given just to everyone. This was specific person in the team.
No, no, but even if a T code is available,
This T code also given to one.
this one, OB52. Yes, yes, yes. This T code, no, no, no. This is a T code which is given only to someone who is responsible. Right? It should not be a user is coming here and he is opening the period. It should be. It requires lot of approvals. It requires lot of approvals if you want to
open any period.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So yeah, so these are the things which we will discuss in detail. So tomorrow directly we will start with setting up the enterprise structure, setting up the company code, fiscal year variant, posting period variant, and you will get all your questions like how to set up a new fiscal year variant, what are the things within the fiscal year variant, what is normal period, what is special period. So all those things we will cover tomorrow.
Vikram, Srikanth here. I have a question on it.
Yes, Srikanth.
So I just want to understand a little bit more deeper about this business blueprint. Okay. So when a consultant is preparing a blueprint, are we going to visit the customer end, or are we going to sit with the customer together to understand the step procedure, or are we going to send a set of standard questionnaire to initialize the blueprint?
No, as I told you, there can be various different ways. Okay, the idea is to understand the requirement. Now, how you are understanding the requirement, it is up to you. Whether you want to send a questionnaire or you want to personally sit with the user, or you don't want to discuss anything, but you just want to see him, how he is doing the transactions. This is part of the observation. So there are different ways in which you can collect the requirements. Or you can tell him also that I don't have time to sit with you. You just, whatever you are doing, you send me the screenshots. That also can be done. So it totally depends upon who is the customer, how flexible he is. Some of the customers will be happy to give you the documents, what they are doing. Some of the customers will tell you, I don't have that time. Yeah, I don't even have time to sit with you. I don't have the time to fill the questionnaire also. If you want, you sit with me. I am doing the transaction, just observe. So it totally depends upon the customer and the project where you are working.
Because I was a part of UAT, okay, when I
Mhm.
was going, so they sent me to send a screenshot, and we as a end user, we used to send a screenshot, and they used to again reply as asking the question there.
Right. No, but then what approach you used?
Oh, no, we used to just only send us the mails. They used to send us the transaction some codes to the users and ask us to send a screenshot. That's it. And it
Right.
used to be done with the power users. As you said, there is a use of power users who used to answer the question.
Mm-hmm. No, see, definitely there are different ways. So I have seen some projects where you don't have the access to the end user also. So you are just coordinating with mail. But
Yeah, yeah.
if you want the better quality requirements, it is always good to have a one-to-one relation with the end users so that you can personally sit with him, you can ask your doubts without any hesitation. Because email is something which is like, let's say, if you are implementing it for some customer who is outside your location, or maybe someone who is outside India, then definitely during this time we normally recommend to visit the customer site. Okay, but yes, there are some companies just to save the cost, they ask you to get the requirements also from here, but that are not very productive compared to discussing with the customer. But again, as I told you, the idea is to collect the requirements. Even if you are able to collect the requirements on mail, if you are good at the communication skills, if you are good at the follow-ups and all, then it doesn't matter how you are collecting the requirements.
So, but overall, it should be the part of the decision which the customer and the client is going to decide together, right? How the collection of the data is going to be.
You are asking customer and consultant, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, 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 definitely. We need to have the close relation with the customer whenever we are talking about this kind of projects. It cannot be done that consultant will not discuss anything with the customer and the business blueprint will be created. Business blueprint is only created once you got the understanding from the customer, okay, and you have also taken the sign off from the customer that yes, this is what I understood from your current business. Now I'm going to create the BBP which will tell you what according to me you should do when you are migrating to S4 or SAP.
Okay.
So definitely involvement is required from both, communication is required from the both ends.
Okay.
Gaurav, this is Mohammed speaking.
Yes.
Gaurav, I saw in Google the word like a C4. I was searching
C4 is different.
I saw C4
C4
also.
is
What is
C4 is cloud for customer. That is completely different thing. That is Hybris, and there are other products also SAP is launching. Ariba, Hybris, SuccessFactor, right? So C4 is completely different thing.
fine? Thanks.
Ariba is the part of this portfolio.
Ariba is a separate product.
We are using Ariba.
It is integrated with S4HANA, but it is a completely separate product. Okay, any other questions before we close today? So what I'll do is, those of you who joined this session for the first time, I will share the recordings of the last two sessions plus this session. Till tomorrow, please try to go through these recordings so that tomorrow all of you are on the same page and we can continue with the practical part. Okay. Any questions, Chandrika, Krishna, Mama, Raghav?
Yeah, Vikram. Hello. Hello, Vikram.
Yes, yes, Chandrika. Can you hear me?
I can hear. You are going to explain us difference between the ECC and SAP S4HANA, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Whenever we are going to talk about a particular topic, we will discuss how this thing was handled in ECC and how it would be handled in S4HANA.
Okay.
If there is no change, then we will just discuss in S4HANA. If there is change, I will highlight that point. That this functionality in S4HANA is working like this, but in ECC it was working in some other.
Thank you, Vikram.
Vikram, Thomas speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
While we do explanation or practical section, can we see real-time system which you are using
Yes,
currently?
whatever system I showed you,
Instead of this,
that is the same system that we are going to use for throughout the course.
is this a live system or demo version? This SAP what you have shown, no? Company code and all.
No, live systems means what?
Sorry?
What do you mean by live system?
No, I'm asking, suppose as you're working in company, live
No, no,
system, those
no,
system
no.
can be in the practical.
No, no, no. This is a demo system. How can we work on the customer system? We are not allowed to do that, right?
No,
This
no,
is a
not
demo.
practice, just display purpose, how exact work is going on. That and all can be viewed in the when we are explaining.
Yes,
Just
yes, yes. We are going to talk about the real-time scenarios. So I will tell you the examples like, okay, there are the customers who are using this functionality, then this is how they use it. But the system that we are going to use, it is a demo system which is only made for the training purpose. It is not a live system which is being used by any of the customer.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. Krishna, any
Uh,
question?
Hey Vikram, yeah, just one question. I have been listening these two words, which is IDOC and RISIF. So, are you going
Mhm.
to cover, in detail about this stuff as well?
No, we will have the overview. See, what you are saying is IDOC and RISAFE. This is something
Mm-hmm.
which is simple. It is ABAP. Okay. But what is
Okay.
required from the functional point of view, whenever we are asking the ABAP to create a IDOC or to create a RISAFE, that part we are going to
Mm-hmm.
discuss. Okay, it would
Okay.
be just
Means
the overview.
okay. So means as a from consultant point of view, do consultant have to look into anything from the IDOC and RISIF side?
Just the understanding. So RISEF is a big
Mm-hmm.
terminology. RISEF is report, interfaces, forms,
Right.
customizations, and enhancements, right?
Right.
So
Yep. Yep.
out of this, we never develop a report. We never develop the interface. We never develop the customization, the
Mm-hmm.
enhancement. These are all done by technical ABAP. What is our role?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever they are creating anything, we have to provide them the functional specification. So we will discuss what is functional specification.
Okay. 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 And do we get any sample, IDOC or RISIF to see? Any sample thing?
No, IDOC, to be very frank, we will not be able to see anything on IDOC. Even it is not recommended to run the IDOC on the
Mm-hmm.
test system. And at the same time, IDOC is a completely different thing. Okay, so
Okay.
even if you go for the certification exam, there is nothing relevant to the IDOC.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, so
Okay.
IDOC, to be very frank, we are not going to talk anything on the IDOC functionality. RISIF, yes, from the
Mm-hmm.
FS point of view, we are going to discuss.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, Minal, any questions? Vaibhav?
No, Vikram.
Okay, so if no questions, we can close today's meeting. Tomorrow, same link, same time, 8 a.m. Sorry, for those who joined 7:30 today, our normal session is on 8. So tomorrow we will meet at 8 a.m.
Sure.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, bye.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Gaurav.
Vikram.
Bye.
Thank you, Vikram.
Thank you, Vikram.